To succeed, you gotta do your best. But to win, you gotta be the best. Go. What up is me, jeez. What up is me, damn, hold on one second. What up is, oh my God, I ain't talked in a couple hours, I think. What up is me, Prez, and damn, I forgot my intro. Fuck. God damn it. What up is me, Prez, and this is another Real Ninja Reaction. We got a video here today, and it's from the lovely Candace Owens. I am somewhat of a fan. I don't really watch her content, but I've seen a couple clips that I liked. I haven't seen any that I didn't, you know what I mean? So I guess I enjoy her clips, I guess, okay? So, but I was scrolling through YouTube and I came across this video she made, and it's called "This is Why Black Women Don't Like Taylor." Oh, I gotta know why. Coming from a black woman, I gotta know why. You know what I mean? So we're gonna get into this, but don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, do all that stuff that us content creators ask you to do that you never do. And if you don't do it, it's because you want to send me some money. Because if you don't want to do the free stuff, you must want to support by sending some money, right? Of course. So y'all see this Cash App scrolling on the bottom. You see it. You see it in real time. In real time. Send me $5, said, and saying, Prez, you're doing a good job. Keep it going. All right. So let's go ahead and get to the videos. Candace Owens, and she is explaining why black women don't like Taylor Swift. Let's go.
Happy Thursday, everybody. Very happy to say that today we are recording from my new set. I hope you guys like it. What are we discussing on today's show? Well, the internet was very surprised to learn yesterday that black women do not like Taylor Swift.
Now, I hope I'll come back with an update. I need to know if Candace Owens giving out copyright strikes if you use her stuff. Okay, so let's get back to it. I don't know. This is my first time doing anything off Candace Owens. I hope I don't get no copyright strikes. Candace, I won't be a fan after that. Know that.
That arrived as some very shocking news to a lot of people. I'm going to explain to you why that is. Plus, later on in the show, the internet is also very divided after learning that a Florida private Christian school expelled 2 of its students after their mother advertised her OnlyFans page on her car. Should they have expelled those students? Yes? No? What do you guys think? All that and more today, coming up on Candace Owens.
Do black women like that lady? I don't know.
So, you know,
I'm going to say I'm a fan of Candace because of her sets, all right? If you looked at any of my other podcasts, I got pretty decent sets. Well, I got one great one. That's called a Real Ninjas Podcast. Set is terrific. It can go up against the best podcasters in they set. Then I got another one called Girl Talk with Prez. I'm working on that. It's looking good. I got to get my background right. Then I got one more called Morning Ninjas. All right. That set is almost perfect. But this is why I like Candace. I saw Candace Owens podcast before I knew who she was. Okay. So when I saw her, when I was looking at her podcast, I was like, oh, she got a nice set. That's the whole point. You got to look like you know what you're doing. So let's go.
We do this thing at the Daily Wire, which is called Backstage Live, where me and all the other hosts sit down and we just talk about various subjects, things that are going on in the news, things that are going on culturally. And a clip from Backstage went viral when it got to the discussion regarding Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's romance. And what was really interesting, I mean, it really accumulated about 5 million views in less than 24 hours. What was interesting is the way the internet responded to the clip. There was a very clear racial divide. A lot of course, Swifties, as they call themselves, were very upset. Younger white women, no, she's our queen. But black women were like, no, yes, Taylor Swift is very toxic. So before we get into why black women feel that way, I'll first let you guys listen to that clip from Backstage. Take a listen. Obviously, if you've seen what she's even done in business and how she tries to manipulate her audiences, like to get out of like deals and contracts, like she's totally insane.
Yeah.
Like she's the most toxic feminist that's ever existed. And what she does is basically the threat is that if she doesn't get what she wants, she writes a song about a guy and then has 15 million girls singing the songs and drops little clues so they know who it's about. I mean, it's totally psychotic if you really think about it.
Wow, I didn't know that about Taylor Swift. Am I a Taylor Swift fan? No, but am I against Taylor Swift? Not at all. So this is let's see. Can Candace Owens form my opinion of Taylor Swift?
But wait,
I don't think you appreciate how psychotic that is, that you can't date her for 2 weeks without her writing a song about you. I mean, what she did to John Mayer as well. He was like, I literally did nothing to her. Like we went on one date and I didn't deserve this.
You're ruining
and then there's a bunch of like 10-year-old girls whose brains are not developed who then go and attack whoever it is. Like Scooter Braun's family, his young kids literally had to go into hiding and get security because Taylor Swift wanted out of the deal that he legally purchased her catalog of music.
Yeah.
And she wrote this, you have to go find it on Tumblr, this like glorious rephrasing of basically like, my dad signed a contract, a legally binding contract for me when I was 15. He now has the catalog because he purchased it. And she was just like, you know, as a woman, I sat on the floor and I wrote these songs. And then they tried to kill Scooter Braun's family, and he did nothing wrong other than purchase her catalog.
But
and he only had it for like 6 months before he let somebody else purchase it. But like she hated Scooter Braun. So yes, as I said, this clip went absolutely viral.
So Taylor Swift is like an emperor.
And when it hit Instagram, a lot of the comments revealed that Black women very much agree with my assessment. I'll just read a couple of these comments here. Tickle Pink wrote, basically, she's saying she plays a Karen very well. This user wrote, I mean, she's not wrong. We all know this, LOL. But yes, she's an amazing artist and all, but I definitely understand where Candace is coming from. She basically plays a Karen pretty well. And there's plenty of girls with those ways, which is toxic, LMFAO. And by the way, this is something that has been well understood all across Black America. I'll also let you watch this clip when a newscaster asked somebody their opinion about Taylor Swift recently. Take a listen.
Taylor Swift uses feminism to tell people they can't be mean to her instead of using it for its actual purpose. I don't know. It's just like the people she dates are like, I don't know.
But don't most women use feminism to get their agendas crossed or to get leeway or passes? Should let you be on OnlyFans is okay because it's liberating and woman empowerment. That's feminist shit. So she's not doing nothing that no other woman doing. Like, you know what? Like, I want to see if Candace Owens can shape my opinion of Taylor Swift because, again, this is a Black woman's take about a white woman, which Candace Owens and every Black woman, I feel, have a problem with white women deep down, you know what I mean, somewhere. Most of them, not everyone, but most of them. Definitely this lady, she got an afro, you know. My opinion on Taylor Swift might not be the same as Candace Owens, just because all women use feminism. You know what I mean? Not just Taylor Swift. So don't be mad at her because she uses the tools that was given to her.
I just feel like it's not giving, like she's using it for quite the right reasons. Cloudy, yeah, just like the whole Matty Healy thing and then Ice Spice. It was just like, it wasn't giving.
Yeah. Very interesting. A couple of things. She mentions Ice Spice. We'll get to that. But she also says Taylor Swift uses feminism so that people can't be mean to her. And yeah, that's very true. Let's start with Scooter Braun, who I mentioned on that clip. Scooter Braun manages a ton of artists. He owns his own label, his own holdings companies, and he keeps purchasing more record labels under that holding company. So let's back up and talk about who Taylor Swift is, because she's not exactly your typical artist who really had to break the bank to make it. I always say this, but if Taylor Swift wasn't one of the most famous people in the world, she would have had to settle with just being a rich girl. Yeah, her father was a stockbroker for Merrill Lynch. Her mom was a mutual fund marketing executive. So they had a lot of experience and they very much understood finance. That's what I want you to take away from that. They understood.
So she was lucky. So she had a step up in life, you know what I mean? Which, I don't want to sound racist, but I like a lot of white, more white women than black women do. I'm gonna say that. Let's agree to that. Let's not just say, because I know a whole bunch of white women that got it out the mud who wouldn't take nothing from nobody, you know what I mean? Her parents were aligned with her goals, and she used them. Okay, let's go.
Finance. So in 2004, right shortly before 2000.
Black women don't like that when you get help from your parents. I think because most of us don't got parents that can actually help us. So black women look down upon that for some reason.
Before they moved the entire family down to Nashville, and her father decided that he was going to work from Merrill Lynch in Nashville. And then in 2004, Taylor Swift met Scott Borchetta, who was just starting his record label, which was called Big Machine. And Taylor Swift was one of its first signings. Big Machine signed Taylor Swift and took a chance on her, having no idea how big she was going to be. But her father obviously sat down with a team of lawyers because he was a stockbroker. And he decided that he was also going to purchase 3% of that company. So her father became a partial owner of the company in which.
So the person who started the company brought in a man who knows all about finances. Just happened to be his girlfriend's, or it sounded like that was his girl. Taylor Swift was dating this guy, but it just happened to be his girlfriend's father. Sound like maybe I get corrected. Sometimes I'm listening, sometimes I'm not. I'm smoking also, but I see nothing wrong with using what you got. Okay, so. My girlfriend's dad is know how finances work, loans work, return on investments and stuff like that. Perfect person to bring in. Let's see.
Taylor Swift was signed to a very good deal, especially if you don't think your daughter is going to be the biggest pop star in the entire world. The thing is, he agreed to the terms. Years later, they decided to sell that company. There was only 5 owners of that company, one of which was Scott Swift, Taylor Swift's father. And they said, we're going to sell this. And Scooter Braun was interested in buying it. And he did purchase it. So it was rather shocking, or it should have been shocking if you weren't, a 15-year-old prepubescent girl who follows Taylor Swift and doesn't understand business, when Taylor took to Tumblr and said she had no idea that her catalog of music, her masters, was being sold. What do you mean you have no idea? She wrote this in part. For years, I pleaded for a chance to own my work. Music I wrote on my bedroom floor and videos I dreamed up and paid for from the money I earned playing in bars, then clubs and arenas, then stadiums. Some fun facts about today's news.
Lies. I don't care. Unless you on a certain type of level, you don't get paid that much. You know what I mean? Come on. If your parents were as paid as Candace just said they were, you're $300 for doing this show, maybe $500 to do this show. Like I'm an artist, and I've been paid up to $200 to do a show. That was and that's being pretty known locally. That was only local, you know what I mean? So let's just say Taylor Swift do $500 a show. That's what she was getting. Life says that other things cost, like just living your life costs more than $500 off a show. You're not doing this every day. If anything, you're doing this once a week. You know what I mean? And you're not getting that big of a paycheck off of this. So you didn't pay for all these videos and studio time for. I mean, you might have contributed some, but you didn't. Your parents pay for that. You know, being someone with financially capable parents pay for this dream of yours.
I learned about Scooter Braun's purchase of my master's as it was announced to the world. All I could think about was the incessant manipulation.
Because you was an employee, you think that as an artist, whatever you do is to make a company some money, whether it's your company or somebody else's company. So the product is your music. So if we don't own your music, how are we going to make money off of your talent? Because it's yours. You made it. You know what I mean? We putting money behind it. So your talent wouldn't be out here and be available for purchase if it wasn't for certain people. So sometimes you don't own your shit. When you're a very great artist, which she wasn't when she first came out, you don't know this until you know what I'm saying. Even Michael Jackson had to fight for his master. So you don't know. I mean, you don't know how good of an artist you're going to be, and somebody got to take a risk. So the risk is I own your shit.
Bullying I've received at his hands for years. Like when Kim Kardashian orchestrated an illegally recorded snippet of a phone call to be leaked. And then Scooter got two of his clients together to bully me online about it. This is my worst case scenario. When I left my masters in Scott Borchetta's hands, I made peace with the fact that eventually he would sell them. Never in my worst nightmares did I imagine the buyer would be Scooter. That's incredibly manipulative. Again, at this time, Taylor Swift is what, 32 years old, a 32-year-old woman manipulating her fan base, using all the right buzzword. I dreamed up on my floor. I wrote these songs, blah, blah, blah. Missing from this, of course, because it's meant to send her fans into attack mode, is the fact that her dad was a partial owner of the company. Yes, Scott Swift made $15 million from the sale of that catalog. Never mentioned her dad, which you would have to be, like I said, have a very low business acumen.
You don't think Taylor Swift got some money off of that? $15 million off. I mean, well, she worth about $1 billion now. So regardless, Taylor Swift, the people you got in your corner definitely is looking out for you.
To believe that Scott Swift, who is one of 5 owners of this company.
A lot of black women don't got those type of people in their corner also. So I'm staying on topic why black women don't like Taylor Swift. These are reasons. She don't appreciate the step up, the boost she has. And black women will love that type of boost, actually. So let's go.
Company was not aware of the sale. And of course, Scooter Braun said this. Scott Borchetta came out and said this. They said, no, she was very much aware. She was offered a chance to buy it, but it didn't matter because the purpose of her writing that post was for the young fans to attack and threaten to kill Scooter Braun. She knows that's how her fans are. And that's exactly what they did. In fact, Scooter Braun pleaded with her.
Okay, why? Okay, I guess she's about to get into this, but why would Taylor Swift want? He was offered. Excuse me. She was offered to buy the rights and all that stuff, all her stuff. She was offered to buy it, but didn't. But instead, she let somebody else buy it, and then send her groupies to attack this man. That makes no sense to me. Why didn't you just buy it, Taylor? Like, even when this happened, I'm pretty sure you was a very paid woman.
To stop doing this because his 3 young children's lives were being threatened by her fan base. He wrote publicly, I assume this was not your intention, but it is important that you understand that your words carry a tremendous amount of weight and that your message can be interpreted by some in different ways. He also made it clear to her that he wanted to rectify the situation, that he was open to all possibilities in this public letter that he wrote to her, pleading for a resolution. But he admitted in that letter that many people had told him that it was unlikely that he and Taylor would ever meet face to face because she's much more interested in creating her own narrative. Essentially, he was being told that she is manipulative. Scott Borchetta, by the way, the person who owned the company with her father and agreed to sell the company, her catalog rather, with Scott Swift, her father, openly said that the singer was being misleading about the situation, and he claimed that she very much had an opportunity to buy her own catalog. Like I said, it didn't matter, and she never rectified the situation, and her fans to this day threaten Scooter Braun and
Why didn't she buy her catalog? That's another question now I'm going to look into. Hold on. Sorry, y'all. I got to know now. I mean, hey, Siri. Why didn't Taylor Swift buy her catalog? Y'all know Siri like Taylor Swift. Hey, Siri. Why didn't Taylor Swift buy her catalog?
I found this on the web.
Okay, man, she gonna read nothing to me. Okay. It probably don't. She probably don't never say. I don't see nothing saying why that she said something. I see Scooter Braun shares his regret after purchasing Taylor Swift music catalog. Peter Braun. There's a lot of stuff about him. Okay, so let's get to it.
His family because they think that she was used. That is toxic femininity. That is why I say that what we're living right now is in a matriarchy, and it's a bunch of women pretending that women are the victims when in fact they yield a ton of power. So why would she do something like that to Scooter Braun? Well, because if you learn anything about Taylor Swift, she likes to use her fan base to right perceived wrongs. In one situation that she held on to for a very long time, which she mentioned in that post, which is probably the biggest contributor to why Black Americans do not like Taylor Swift, was related to a situation pertaining to Kanye West and Kim Kardashian. So I'm going to ask you guys to park aside your feelings about Kanye West. It doesn't actually matter. I want you to objectively look at this situation. Kanye West dropped a song, and the song was entitled Famous. The first lines of the song were, "To all my South Side N-words that know me best, I feel like me and Taylor might still have sex. Why? I made that B-I-T-C-H famous. I made that B-I-T-C-H famous." So when her fans, her Swifties, got wind of these lyrics, they freaked out. They were like, oh my God, this is so wrong. This is awful. How dare he say this about Taylor Swift? This is disgusting. This is despicable. This should never be allowed. It's misogyny. Remember, her brand is feminism. So of course these lines were not okay. And then Kanye West wanted to calm them down. They came out and they said, oh, I called Taylor Swift about this line. It's all good, guys. Stop freaking out. And they looked at her and said, oh my gosh, Taylor Swift, did you say this was okay? The Swifties were like, oh no, how could you say this? And so Taylor Swift had her rep issue a statement, and the statement read, Kanye did not call for approval, but to ask Taylor to release his single Famous on her Twitter account. She declined and cautioned him about releasing a song with such a strong misogynistic message. Taylor was never made aware of the actual lyric, I made that famous. Wow. When I read that statement to you, what did you get from it? Well, you obviously got that Kanye lied. They had a conversation about the song, and she said to him in very strong terms, obviously, no, this is very misogynistic. Do not release this song. Except that's not what happened. It's clearly not what happened. You're going to be shocked. I want you to really listen to this because it's one of the reasons I will never like Taylor Swift and why Black America will never like Taylor Swift.
Okay. So now I'm not gonna lie. And I'm not even sure what song of Kanye they're talking about. Famous. I gotta hear the chorus. I don't really know people's lyrics in depth these days. I'm gonna say Kanye is in my top 5, possibly top 3 best musical rap artists. So her line about that is major to me. You know what I mean? So I mean, like as a rapper, we say some crazy stuff. And for a rapper to actually contact you and say, hey, I put this in my song, I like to drop it, and I don't want to disrespect you, but this is what it is. And if you say, yeah, go ahead, do it, and then you lie about it, that's a problem for me. So let's see.
Because that was a manipulative rep statement that she released. Unbeknownst to her, Kanye West had cameras on him at the time that they had the conversation. And his then wife, Kim Kardashian, released the phone call. Listen to this.
If you're gonna have somebody do it, why not Kim Kardashian? Hey, now that she just said this, that to marry Kim Kardashian was very strategic. All right. You are always going to be on half of the women's side because half of all women love the Kardashians and half hate them also. But to marry her is to put you in position for half of women love you because you're Kim Kardashian's husband. All right. So let's see.
The conversation.
Well, the reason why it will be happening is because it has a very controversial line at the beginning of the song about you.
What does it say?
Okay, wait a second. You sound sad.
Okay, man, she just giggled about that, and that the fact that Kanye can call Taylor Swift after all that. After, if y'all remember, she was getting an award, and he pretty much stole her thunder and announced what he felt about who should have got the award. All right, without going into details with it. So this is somebody Taylor Swift shouldn't really be particular with or friends with, but it sounds like they're pretty cool. All right, and just remember, everything in Hollywood that they show you on purpose. Okay. The Will Smith smack, everything that they show you, the Janet Jackson booby flash, anything. I mean, it's a lot of celebrity stuff going on and has been going on. So whatever they show you, they want you to see. If they and they didn't want to show you, they wouldn't show you. So. Kanye and Taylor Swift might have been friends at the time when that happened. There might have been a planned thing. Who knows? You know, so I was just saying that how friendly they're talking right now and how that's a red flag.
Well, is it going to be mean?
No, I don't think it's mean.
Okay, then let me hear it.
So it says, to all my South Side that know me best, I feel like Taylor Swift might owe me sex.
That's not mean.
Okay. Yeah, because we tried to make it nicer. So what I said is, for all my South Side that know me best, I feel like me and Taylor might still have sex. And my wife was really not with that one. She was way more into the she owes you sex. But then the O part was like the feminist group type that I was like,
That's the part
yeah.
that's gonna kind of, I mean, they're both really edgy, but just like, that's the only thing about that line is that it's like, it's just the feminists are gonna come out. But I mean, you don't give a so.
Yeah, basically. Well, what I give a about is just you as a person and as a friend. I want things that make.
Yeah, see, I just told you they're friends. But he didn't say. Well, I guess that was the I made that bitch famous isn't the controversial part. Okay, so I guess he didn't have to say that. That's some extra ad libs.
Make you feel good. I don't want to do rap that makes people feel bad. Like, okay, now what if later in the song I was also to have said I made her famous? Is that
Hey, you can't never talk about Kanye's integrity because because to change a rap lyric because someone says to change a rap lyric is major. To me, I mean, because that's the lyric. That's what went. That's where that was supposed to go. Okay. For me to change it might change the whole dynamic of that line, you know what I mean? To the cadence of what was said. The emphasis of what was said is important. So for me to change it is major. So, and definitely for Kanye, it's major.
You know?
Yes, it might have happened.
Oh my God. Well, what am I gonna do about it?
I went like that, do the hair flip.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of like whatever at this point.
Yeah.
But I mean, just you got to tell a story the way that it happened to you and the way that you experienced it. Like you honestly didn't know who I was before that. Like it doesn't matter if I sold 7 million of that album before you did that, which is what happened. You didn't know who I was before that. It's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't wait to hear it.
So there you have the conversation. And by the way, you can pursue
Green light. She got the green light, but also on some Taylor Swift shit. I made a mistake. I didn't think that my fan base would take it like that. So, in order to save my money, and yes, I threw you under the bus. I said it didn't happen, okay? But because you know what? A lot of her fans did not see this. This Kanye, I've never seen that. I never heard nothing about any of this anyway, matter of fact. But a lot of, like when when somebody gets blamed for doing something to a woman and then they get found not guilty. Well, there were so many articles saying what they did to that woman, and it's only one article or not as many, or not even coming close to as many, saying that they really didn't do that. So a lot of people still only read the articles that said you did it. So even though he threw that out there, this out there, a lot of people didn't see it. So Taylor Swift probably knows that. I know none of my people are going to listen to anything that Kanye says against me now that he says that. So, boom, I'm still going to say my fan base, which definitely worked because she's still on top.
it in its entirety. I'm not trying to cut it down to make her look bad whatsoever. What comes across actually as you hear it is that he brings up feminism to her and says, I was going to make this line that you owe me sex, but then I was sort of like, what are the feminists going to say? And then she agrees and says, yeah, the feminists won't like that. So he changes the line to me and Taylor might still have sex and tells her that he cares about her feelings in all of this.
Yeah.
He was being very careful not to upset her as a person, he says.
He was.
And yet you didn't get that, of course, from her statement that she released through her rep, because she wasn't expecting her fans to be so angry about the line. So she just flipped on him.
There you go. Just flip. Man, I just said it.
Flipped on him publicly. And then when those phone calls were leaked, it made her look very bad. And she held on to that anger for so long that she then did something horrific to Scooter Braun to right that perceived wrong, right? Oh my God, now people are seeing that I'm actually quite manipulative, and I'm gonna get even with Scooter Braun, because Scooter Braun at that time, when that song was released, was Kanye's manager. That is how she works. That is how she operates. There have been many men that have come out and said things like this. Calvin Harris talked about Taylor Swift using the media to her benefit when they broke out and leaking the fact that her vocals were used on a song which they had agreed to keep private. Katy Perry came out and said that she was a wolf in sheep's clothing. Notoriously, many artists have been trying to communicate that the way that she behaves publicly and privately is very different. And
look, you can't be a Taylor Swift without biting off some fucking heads. She's a praying mantis. Okay? I'm not mad at her, because you think Kanye ain't bit off some heads? You know what I mean? You don't think Kim Kardashian bit off some heads? Jay-Z, Beyonce, definitely Jay-Z done bit some heads off. Okay? To to get to where they are, you got to be a little cutthroat, and it works. All right, it works. So, sounds like to me Taylor Swift has no loyalty to nobody in the music business. She definitely loyal to her fans because you're doing this for the fans. Because you got to be loyal to somebody. It's either, I mean, yes, you're loyal to the money, but your fans is the one that gets you the money. So you got to be loyal to your fans also. So I'm not mad at her for being a snake.
And what I refer to all of this as is toxic feminism, right? She's pretending to be a feminist, but in reality, she is just business savvy. And she's also someone that knows that if you hurt her, she can send an entire hive of young girls to attack you. So that's the answer. There's never going to be a time in American history where Black women get on board with Taylor Swift, because being Taylor Swift means never having to say that you're sorry, never having to say that you're wrong, but instead manipulating a young fan base to believe that no matter what happened, you were the victim.
That's most women. Candace is a Black woman saying this, and you don't know that this is most women's tactic. This is most women. They never say sorry, no accountability. You know what I mean? I don't know Candace Owens like that. Like I said, I'm a fan. I like this video. Shit, and she's fucking gorgeous. She's a very beautiful lady. To not disrespect her, because I saw a ring on her finger. She's, I mean, look like light makeup. This is a pretty lady. Okay, so I'm not trying to disrespect her, but Candace Owens, I lost track of. That's how fine she is right here. I lost track of what was I saying. But that's a manipulation tactic by most women, is to never say sorry, to act like you didn't do nothing, to get your friends or get your mob. You know what I mean? That's why they post stuff on TikTok, and I've been the receiving end of a few women's angry Facebook posts. They know that their friends are going to come to bat to them. And shoot, if your hive ain't bigger than my hive, I win. That's how I go. Okay.
I'm not young. I'm the same age as you, Taylor Swift. You're going to be 35 this year. I think it's time to grow up and let go of that narrative. And that's all I'm going to say about that. If you're like,
all right. So that was Candace Owens' take why Black women don't like Taylor Swift. What I saw there is a reason why most people wouldn't like a person. You know what I mean? But all I see, I'm not mad at Taylor Swift. I just Candace Owens. I'm a fan of Candace Owens. That's a Black woman, and I'm still a fan of Taylor Swift. So I couldn't tell you one of her songs. But I know she's a good artist, you know what I mean? I've heard something, and I've never said, oh, she's bullshit trash. Okay. But sound like a good businesswoman to me. Sound like she don't got no loyalty to nobody who ain't putting money in her pocket. Has Kanye put money in her pocket? Like directly, not indirectly. He probably did. He definitely did probably make who she was because of his statements he made about her at her award show. Everybody just feels so sad for her that he did that, you know. So he definitely had a part in who Taylor Swift ended up becoming. So, but I like Taylor Swift. She sounds like a good businesswoman. She's actually fucking down. Most women don't do that, you know what I mean? So, got to give her that one. Let's see what more to come from Taylor Swift. Okay, so thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you. You see the Cash App thing rolling at the bottom. You know, if you feel like donating to a brother, say, hey, you're doing a good job. Do that. Or like, subscribe, comment, do all that stuff that us content creators ask you to do, and you never do. But until then, I appreciate you for tuning in. Don't forget to tell somebody about this beautiful chocolate man that be doing reactions that nobody knows of. But until then, holla. Go. Give me the gold. I want the gold.